You know the thing I enjoy most about NABI-BALL? It's not the score lines. It's not the fact that we're playing incredible football that you can actually see. It's not any of those things. I think the most important thing that we've seen from NABI-BALL is an attitude shift. I think the attitude shift has been the most impressive thing that Coach Nabi has brought. And you feel it when he talks, and you watch it when those guys get into the game. A lot of these players are the same players that we had. We knew what Shabalala was, came in for a season, was hot, and then went out, was at the DDC at some point. Abozwani was sitting on the bench for a very long time. In fact, in the second half, when other people started coming on, Abongobo and all those guys, the biggest thing that you see from them is an attitude switch. I want to be fair to Supersport when I start off. Supersport had their chances. Sorry to interrupt this video, but I need a little bit of your help. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can probably see my subscribe account. And if you can, I'd be very grateful if you would subscribe. That is actually the best way to support this channel, because the bigger that number is, the better it looks to potential guests and other brands and companies that I will approach for sponsorship. It may seem like a very small thing to ask for, but it actually helps with all of this. Thank you very much. Let's get back to the video. Supersport hit the post, and Twari made a couple of saves. Maybe if they placed some headers a little bit better, they could have done something. They came into this game expecting to make it about set pieces, and for the most part, they did their job. I think Coach Hunt and his team were wildly unlucky not to put away some of those chances. I think they put the Chiefs defense under pressure. The long throws, the corners, the things that they had brought up in that. But one of the problems that Supersport has is that they sort of get overexcited at times. In the game versus Mamelodi Sundowns that they played, I believe it was last year, that they lost, I think it was 2-0. They came out and they looked incredible. They came out and put Mamelodi Sundowns under pressure. They were missing chances. They got overexcited, and then they got hurt by Mamelodi Sundowns, and they ended up losing that game. Towards the end of this game, it was an open game. Towards the end of this game, you could tell that they're done with everything that has to do with tactics or anything like that. They were playing just to see out the game and hope to be fine for next week's fixture. So it would be harsh to say that Supersport didn't play well. When we come to Kaizer Chiefs, there are things that Kaizer Chiefs did poorly. You look at the defense. We still have the issue of our 2-6s not covering the defense. We still have the issue of our right back, Ufrosla, pushing too far up, or maybe that was the plan, pushing all the way up and not necessarily communicating with the guys behind him. We still have an issue at times where our 6s don't want to come fetch the ball. We don't want to play the ball. But the positives far outweigh what was wrong. Chiefs today played a wider game. Sirino was picking up the game far right, and I think they weren't as overexcited as they've been in the past other games. What Chiefs has done this season was come out and be super excited, very excited, play their hearts out for 25 minutes and not be able to finish games off. And what we saw today was a Chiefs team that was under pressure. Yeah, I agree. But they were able to stay in the game long enough for them to score the goals that they needed to score. Wonderful goals coming from Sirino. Sirino again proving that he makes the team tick. I think Chiefs still has a problem of having a back 6 and a front 4. And those two don't communicate. So we're missing a player that can get the ball from defense and give it then maybe to a Sirino. A lot of our attack and the goals that we scored was on transition. Winning the ball back, playing a long ball up, and then using our movement to confuse that Supersport defense, even getting a chance for Ranga that he missed. Which is something that I expect from that team now. Breaking very quickly, or the ball gets up, Sirino gets the ball, he makes the decisions, either he shoots and scores, or he plays the balls in. I think that part we've got it sorted. When we look at the front of Chiefs, when you look at the attack of Chiefs, it's sorted. Everything is fine on that side. I don't have too many complaints. The complaints come when we need to cover, when we need to help out the defense, when we need to press at times, and maybe that's where we lose it. But again, the biggest hallmark of this team is a winning mentality. The biggest hallmark of this team is decision making. That they're calmer, but they're also in the games to win it. And I think teams take on the personas of their coaches. If you look at Supersport is a team that means well, plans, does well, but when things go wrong, they lose it. Everybody's lost and shouting, and that you see in Gavin Hunt. When you look at Chiefs, even when things are not going the way that you want them to go, you see Coach Nabi standing on the sidelines, trying to will the boys, telling the boys that he wants to win. You heard in the press conference when he spoke about wanting to win all of the games, wanting to play well in all of the games, whether you win or you lose, not to put your head down. When you hear him in the post-match press conferences, when he speaks about like Ranga, for example, that he wants him to keep his head up, he wants him to play, he wants him to find that thing, when he's consistently talking to the youngsters, when he's trusting the youngsters, you start seeing that translated into his team. And that team doesn't give up. And that team wins games that maybe they shouldn't be winning. And that team shows up and plays and has a structure and wants to win. I haven't seen that for years at Kaizer Chiefs. Genuinely wanting to win. Not words, actions. The fact that I could finish watching games and I haven't mentioned the Motaungs and the family and the signings and this and that. The fact that when we analyze the actual game. I can tell you that Sirino starts out on the right-hand side. And what he's trying to do is something similar to what Modi used to do in the years previous, where he drifts inside from there. And yes, does it cause problems for whoever his left or right back is on the side that he's on because they don't have support? It does. But when we're in attack, we finally got a thinker. We finally got somebody who can take a ball. Guys, the confidence of that team is incredible. The passes they were pushing. The goal for Utupris made a run in behind the defense that was found, and he had enough he had enough focus to finish. That is incredible. The fact that Ranga missed a couple of chances but was able to finally get his goal, that was incredible. The fact that Supersport hit us with everything they had and we were able to come back and stay in the game, that was incredible. The fact that we could take advantage of a team that was attacking us and not sit back. You know, Chiefs of old would have sent every defender we had onto the pitch and just sat back. The fact that we still had confidence enough to commit 3 players. Abamfundo came on and they play with like a pride. You know that thing I always say about Umfundo, that I love the confidence and the pride that he plays in for that for that team. And now that you see it across the pitch, Abu Shabalala, the fact that Zwane had a bad game last time out and improved. They're getting better and getting better and getting better. I love that. And it's something that has been missing at Kaizer Chiefs for a very long time. A quiet confidence. Coach Nabi deserves these flowers. He really is cooking. And like I said, the score is not the biggest thing for me. The play is not the biggest thing for me. It's the attitude around the club. It's the belief around the club. It's the confidence around the club. It's the swagger that we have when we're walking around, when we're talking, when we're watching games. And it all comes from that one man, Nasruddin Nabi. So that was a 4-0 game. When last? That was a 4-0 game that Kaizer Chiefs was able to beat Supersport, one of our toughest foes. In the last 5 games, Supersport has 3 wins versus our 2. Incredible. Thank you so much to NABI, and credit to the Motaung family. Other things will fix. We will get better. The moment we fix those little problems, those tactical problems, those structural problems, the league better look out.